Good morning. This is Professor Bhavani BS, MBA Department from Rajiv Institute of Technology, Hassan. Warm wishes and greetings to all the participants who have joined us on the webinar scheduled today at 11 a.m. on the topic Career Excellence with MBA Opportunities and Challenges. Good morning, participants, dear team members, professors, and of course, my warm regards and thanks and a note of welcome I would like to extend to our Honorable President, Dr. V. Rajiv, Rajiv Education Trust, Hassan, and to our beloved Secretary, Dr. B. N. Ratna, Rajiv Education Trust, Hassan, and a lot of support being extended by our beloved Principal, Dr. A. N. Ramakrishna, who has made this webinar to get executed on this auspicious day. I would like to say this is the first webinar what MBA department is airing today with a lot of kind support and a lot of guidance what we have received from our president, and also the mention without fail is our principal, Dr. A. N. Ramakrishna, sir. Sir, I would like to welcome you all, but I would like to tell you why this topic MBA department has chosen for the webinar. This is the time where graduates are completing their final examinations and, of course, searching for the further options whether to choose a career or to continue their education. So, as a guidance, a note of valuable suggestions, we thought this topic would be the right topic for them so that that helps the participants so that they can choose their education in the right path. But why management? As water, air has got omnipresence, I would say the concept management, the career management has got omnipresence. From the kitchen to the corporate, from the NGO to the government sector, private or any sector, any industry, anything that you take, or from retail to hospitals, everywhere you find management and everywhere we need managers. So I would say management is call of the day where every student who pursues the management as a post graduation program definitely will be able to build an excellent career, or also he can become an excellent entrepreneur. So that's why the topic, the theme what we have chosen, career excellence with MBA, will be of a great help and will become a valuable guidance to all the participants. Now, I would like to request our principal, Dr. A. N. Ramakrishna, to please extend warm welcome and a, no, a two words to the participants. Sir?
Yeah, good morning everyone. At the outset, I extend my sincere thanks to our beloved President and also Secretary. It is a good opportunity for all of us so that our MBA department is organized a webinar on career excellence with MBA. So means the students may have ambiguity after their undergraduation what to do next. Maybe some of them chosen to go for higher studies, that is for pursuing post-graduation. But pursuing post-graduation is not a difficulty, but after that what is? So that everything is going to be getting solution if they thinking themselves. Now, this is opportunity so that they can utilize this opportunity. The, the talk is given by Mr. Vinod Prabhu will going to be explained what are the opportunities after the MBA course. Because many students having ambiguity means, so even after the degree, is it getting a good job or not like that. So in my view, nowadays, the management courses are taking a lot of advantages. Even it is overtaking the technical courses, I can say. Therefore, there is no ambiguity for the students, those who wanted to go for higher studies. Now, this opportunity, I request all the candidates to use this opportunity so that it will be help for them to choose the post-graduation. So, on behalf of our management and my staff, team members, I wish all the registered candidates a very best of luck and use this opportunity for their career. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Principal Sir, for
Thank
addressing the
you.
participants. Now, it's time to introduce today's guest speaker, Shri Vinod Prabhu. Sir, we are fortunate and honored to invite you for this webinar as a guest speaker. I would like to introduce you to the participants, sir. Mr. Vinod Prabhu is a MBA graduate from one of the prestigious management institutes in India, that is Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. He has worked for several Fortune 500 companies like Deloitte and Touche. Also, the list includes HUL, Mercer, and he had been a consultant in the area of marketing and HR for his overseas clients spread across the countries like United States of America, Singapore, UAE, Africa, and the list goes on. Mr. Vinod Prabhu is also on the board of Orbit Technologies and also NextGen Technologies. Company Deloitte had recognized Vinod Prabhu as the Maverick, the most innovative employee, which is a very prestigious reward to its employees. Mr. Vinod Prabhu has featured in National Entrepreneurship Network, that is NEN, as one of the Young Talent, which is a prestigious award for the young talents. He mentors the students from institutes like IIMB and also the employees from Roots to Shoots, as which is a startup company. And his case studies are rated high in Economic Times, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and various other journals, national and also international level. Sir is not only has got a rich experience in corporate and also he's an excellent academic record he has got. But after doing an excellent career in the corporate, he realized that his true calling or his service lies in helping, training, and giving consultation to the young minds of India. So he started the company Seven Sense Talent Solutions in the year 2015. So Seven Sense Talent Solution provides consulting training to prestigious companies like General Electric, Marico, Reliance Retails, ABB, GMR, Deloitte, and etc. It includes the institutions, it trains the institutions like IMB, AVI Group, PES, and etc. So we are fortunate to have you on this day. Please take over the session and address our participants, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. Very, very warm welcome to all the participants who are present here. Before I start, I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to Sri Dr. Rajiv sir, under whose guidance and leadership the entire Rajiv group of institutions does a lot of exemplary social service and service to the nation. Ably led by Dr. A. Ramakrishna sir, who's the principal of Rajiv Institute of Technology. I've seen the institute grow under his very dynamic and far-sighted leadership, and Dr. Bhavani madam, who looks after the MBA department and who's taking it every year notch by notch higher. Also thank Darshan sir and Moni sir, who are instrumental in this particular webinar, reaching all of you, and I hope all of you are benefited. So let me just start off the session. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay, I hope now the PPT is visible and I'm audible to all of you. And so let us look at what this particular session is all about. Before we go ahead, I would also want to talk about for all your career, higher studies, and campus recruitment tips. You could visit our YouTube channel, Seven Sense Aptitude Prep, on which this particular webinar is telecast. You could subscribe there, and you will be benefited not just for a career perspective, but also from a placement perspective. Career excellence with MBA, opportunities and challenges. Seven Sense is doing this webinar in association and the kind support of Rajiv Institute of Technology. For people who haven't been to this campus or seen this campus, I would strongly recommend that you visit this campus. twice, once during the day and once at night. It looks like two different beautiful campuses, and I strongly recommend, as you go take the highway from Bangalore to Mangalore, you will find this right on the highway. So you will see the entrance of just the Institute of Technology campus, RIT campus, and you will see on the right we have the faculty members as well as the students of the MBA department, and this is how the campus looks at night. A wonderful and very refreshing sight that we can see. So this video, I'm just going to talk about the top 25 reasons to get an MBA. So I'm an MBA myself. I know the pluses and minuses of getting an MBA degree. I'm just going to talk about how you can achieve excellence in your career by pursuing an MBA. Firstly, let me ask our audience poll, right? You could check and respond in the chat box. Even during the session, the rest of the session, please do post your queries or suggestions in the chat box. The team from RIT will also clarify it. It won't just benefit you, but it will also benefit all the other members who are present in the webinar. Okay, saying that, I would also request you to participate in this short quiz, if you might say so. What is common to the CEOs of these companies? Apple, Microsoft, Google, Walmart, General Electric, General Motors, JP Morgan, Pepsi, Toyota, Intel, and the list goes on. What is common to the CEOs? Apart from these companies being very famous, they are in the Fortune 50, which means the top 50 companies in the world in terms of revenue. What do you think is common to the CEOs of these companies? The first things first, they all have MBAs. And that has played a big part in these CEOs reaching this position in their career, in their life, in their community, and in their country. So these are companies that all of us know, and because of their MBA degrees, they've reached these positions, and we also know them. This webinar is for everyone. I was told that we have people who have come from various geographies, from various graduation backgrounds, experienced people. We even have people who completed their master's degree, and including PhD candidates who are present here, just to understand why MBA and what are the benefits and the challenges of it. So this webinar is for everyone, irrespective of which course you are from, your graduate background, whether you completed your graduation, you're currently in your final year of graduation, does not matter. It is for everyone. Whether you're fresher or experienced, it does not matter. The points here are equally valid for everyone, and also does not matter which industry or sector you would want to pursue your career in. In short, this webinar is for every living individual. For this webinar, we've spoken to the business school professors, we've spoken to the students, we've spoken to the graduates, corporate leaders, and we've looked at what are the top 25 reasons to be an MBA according to them. Let us take the software industry as an example, just to highlight in a nutshell how an MBA helps you grow in your career. If you see, this is the typical software industry career path. You will start off, just give me a minute. You will start off here as a software developer, and you will spend probably 4 or 5 years here as a career developer, software developer. Then you will spend 4 or 5 years here as a senior software developer, and then this route is the technical route, but let us say you want to take this route, which is the managerial route. What you see here is the path would be the same for the first 9 years, irrespective of which path you want to take later. So you have spent 9 years coding in a software company. But if you take an MBA, you directly start off your career here as an engineering manager. So what do? Not only do you grow faster in your career, you save these precious years which could have been spent in the junior levels of the organizations. You directly go in as at this level, and so if you start further ahead, you can reach and grow and become CEOs. And that's the first thing that I would want you to know. It's a shortcut to the very top. So if you see this image, you'll get to know that we have someone who is on very powerful look and feel. What does this mean? An MBA is a sure shot guide to be a CEO. If you want to be a CEO, there are chances that when you guys who are probably very young in your career and life, when you want to become CEOs, MBAs would be an absolute and a compulsory requirement. So who runs the world? We saw those companies, we saw those logos, we saw the CEOs. MBAs run the world. Run the world would mean even business leaders, not just business leaders, even leaders of countries now have MBAs. They control some of the world's biggest firms, and consequently, the hiring also follows their leadership, and we'll have more and more MBAs entering the corporate world. As I gave the software example, you get to know that you could save precious years, you get a shortcut to the very top, saves you time and saves you and gives you the opportunity to grow higher. And this shortcut gives you enough time to be a CEO. You save those 9 years, gives you an opportunity to grow even faster. This is the fast track shortcut approach to become the CEO. Point number one, an MBA is a sure short way to help you become a CEO sometime in your career. Second one I would talk about, when you look at this particular image, you see that there is a short pile of money on the left and there is a bigger pile of money on the right. So act fast, earn double would mean that with an MBA, more often than not, you double your earnings. So you get rich quick. So I'm not saying that all points here are applicable for everyone. Some of you might be looking only at the salary aspect, some of you might be looking at the learning aspect, some of you might be looking at the exposure aspect. The reason why I have given 25 reasons to be an MBA is that you will find your 5, 10 reasons that are relevant. So, irrespective of who you are and what your career ambitions and goals and priorities are, you will find that you have reasons to pursue an MBA degree. So double your earnings. Not only do you get rich quick, the investment, you might also think I'm investing in the MBA degree. That return on your investment happens in less than 4 years. So whatever you have spent as fees and other expenses, you would recover, and your starting salary and consequently your salary growth that happens in your career would be much higher compared to a non MBA. Why is that? Because an MBA brings a lot of value to the company as well as to the team he or she works in, and we'll see why those qualities are valued a lot by these companies. So, point number one, it's a shortcut to become the CEO of the company of your choice. Number two, from a monetary perspective, this is very impressive. Three, you might see someone jumping from some place he was to some place he wants to go. So an MBA also helps you change industries. If you want to, if you are currently in a particular field, or you're currently undertaken the undergraduate course in a field, but you want to change that field. Let's say you want to switch from fashion to finance. You want to switch from, if you are a basic graduate, you want to switch from life sciences to marketing. You want to move from engineering and realize, oh, I took up this course because my parents forced me, I want to go into HR. Or you did arts because your neighbor wanted to do arts, but now you want to go into consulting. If you do not know what they are, that we'll come to this subsequently. But the point here being, if you want to change, you have taken up, made a choice, but you want to change that choice, and MBA helps you do that. It's a perfect opportunity to start. So imagine you done a course in your graduation, and that's not something that you like now. You can use an MBA to change your industry and your career path, without which you might not be able to change. Fourth one, you see this particular set of people looking at a new job, a new opportunity. And let's say you're currently working, or you've not gotten a job or a good job after graduation. Especially this year, because of the corona pandemic, we do not know when that situation would turn actually into a proper normal. You might have taken up the course, graduation course, because someone pressurized you, or you did not have that information, but now you do. Now, because of that, you do not have a suitable job, you find it hard to clear the course, or you're already working in industry. We already also have people who are experienced working and the industry, but you do not like that job. MBA would be a good approach, because you will be spending 2 years in this MBA course, and in 2 years you will be in demand. Even if there is a recession that time, or corona is not really subsided by then, even then MBAs would be in demand. So if you're currently working, but or you've not gotten a job after graduation, MBA is a good investment. I would not even look at expenses. I would look that as an investment. Number four, as you might, some of you who might be engineers, or some of you who've done your graduation streams in other disciplines, you know that there is a specialization that happens. Even in an MBA, there are specializations. You do not have to do a very generic degree. In an MBA, the first year is a common course for everyone, and in the second year, you go into your specializations either as a single specialization, or you could pick two as a dual specialization. So you can pick the specializations that fit your capabilities and fit your goals. So you could take up finance. It's good for people who want to become bankers, who want to become CEO, CFOs, role in finance. And these courses will focus on statistics, it will focus on data analysis and accounting. So if you feel those are the numbers that interest you, if you're a commerce graduate who feels that finance is interesting, please go for it. If you feel okay, finance is not my cup of tea, there are other specializations that are still open, like marketing. If you want to focus on businesses that involve dealing with people, sales, convincing people to buy your products or services, and you are a people person, your communication skills are good, please go into marketing. HR, if you are again involved and enthusiastic about solving people issues, please focus on HR and all the people related issues, requirements, strategies, all of that would be someone who specializes in HR. And there are people who feel, okay, I want to do an MBA so that I can start my own company or go and join the companies that my parents have started. Entrepreneurship, it's also suitable option after MBA. Even if you have an original idea and want to start up, you can. If you feel, okay, I do not want to specialize really in one of these, but I want to become a general manager, an MBA is also suitable in that aspect as well. You get the all-round skills for you to grow, and very, very important. So this would be like the prime minister of a company, and you will have finance, marketing, HR reporting to you. You will be like the general manager who deals with the overall health of the company. Operations as well. You see, e-commerce companies, they spend a lot on operations to ensure the goods are ordered and delivered to you on time. The entire operations of Zomato or Ola, all of them, their operations have to run smoothly. Otherwise, customers are not going to work. And finally, we have IT. In this day and age of everything being digital, IT is very, very, very important. It's the backbone of every enterprise. So if you see this particular slide, you will find that irrespective of who you are, what your career ambitions are, what your skills are, what your talents are, you will find that there is a specialization that fits your goals, fit your career mindset. You could pick one of these two. You don't have to decide on this now. You take a MBA, the first year is common, and in the first year you see which courses you like, which courses you're good at, and then discuss with your faculty members on what your specialization should be. If you see this particular slide, you might think that it reads as leaders, but you also have two people or more working together to become the leader. So MBA is not just about leadership. You could be a leader as well as a team player. The MBA program in any good college like RIT are their training grounds, and future business leaders of the corporate world come from MBA programs. How do you become better? Because in these 2 years, you are not only going to learn theoretically, you are going to learn and then practice those techniques until they become skills and they become a habit. It's just like driving a car. The first time you learn how to drive a car, you're going to be very tense. You are going to think about the brake, clutch, accelerator, steering wheel, rear view mirror, gear, and you are very tense. Subsequently, after a year or so of driving, you are then can drive without actually thinking about the entire aspect. You can drive absent-minded. You can drive without putting in any extra effort. The MBA trains you that way. It trains so that it becomes a part of your soul. It becomes a part of your mindset and behavior. And if you work with and people in your class would be very intelligent, very ambitious, very hardworking. If you can work with them, you could work with anyone else in the corporate world. So it trains you not only to be a leader, it also trains you to be a team player, and those two skills are very, very critical, because not in every project can you be a leader, and not in every project should you be a team player. You can be both. You will be like the all-rounder that the company wants. You will be like the Hardik Pandya of the respective corporate that you join. If you see this particular, you'll see that this person is analyzing a lot. There's a lot of information that comes in. Without an MBA, you might not know how to process that information. Here with an MBA, you get to know how to deal with multiple sources of information, different types of information, and how to take this forward. So something about analysis. See, without analyzing the problem, dealing with it, reacting to it, and responding to it will be damaging. How do you analyze? You will analyze the company from different perspectives, from data, from people, from competition, from your vendors, from your partners. You will understand how to deal with a particular problem, and you will get to know that through case study mechanisms or case study way of teaching that RIT Hassan and other colleges teach you in. You will understand how strategy, operations, all of that get work together in a particular company, and you will take decisions that are faster, that are better than what a non-MBA might take. A non-MBA might not even know how to analyze the balance sheet of a company, without which you will not know the health of the company in terms of how much money it has, what are the assets, and all that. But an MBA will. So very, very important that you analyze well, and an MBA teaches you how you should be doing it. Now, if you see this PPT again, you will see that world keeps changing. What you would have heard about 5 years later is 5 years earlier is no longer happening now. And currently, you need to know the major trends, not just technical, but otherwise, for you to be in demand. Only if you are in demand can you command a high salary. So MBA teaches you the latest trends. It could be 21st century marketing ideas. It could be on how to prevent financial frauds. We see that all the time. Companies are committing financial frauds, and because of which they are either shutting down or getting penalized. And MBA teaches you all this. You might not know what an MBA program is all about, but it will teach you this. It will also teach you how to hire effectively during Corona. Should we hire? Should we not hire? And if you are hiring, how do we onboard them? How do we grow digitally? For different companies. Every company has now got a digital mechanism of growing. Even cinemas, for example. How do who's making these strategies? Who is telling Dil Bechara to be released on an OTT platform? There are MBAs who are thinking what would be the revenue that comes in with one approach compared to the other, and every little aspect. I just saw an ad before this session by Pothys, which is a company that is involved in making silk sarees. Even they are showing, let's say, if you want to go to the showroom and you're not able to, if you now they now have a digital showroom where you see all the sarees, and there are models there who will wear the sarees for you. So, and then what you like, they will send the shortlisted sarees to your home. So all of these are possible. Who's going to think of this? Otherwise, the showroom could just be open there and waiting for customers. There are people who are doing it, and 99% of the time, those are MBAs. So answers to all of this and more will be in your MBA course. If you see this particular image, if you look at this particular image, you find that it is a network of people, network of experts, network of professionals. And MBA helps you do that. It helps you build networks, because in this world, network will, a good network, a strong network, an influential network will help you grow, will help you, or not just grow, it will launch your career. So you learn in an MBA how to market yourself. Currently, if I ask you, most of you who are in the audience, to go and talk to someone, introduce yourself, talk to them about the idea that you have, you might not know how. You might not know how to approach a 50-year-old and get mentorship from him or her. You might not know how to approach a 45-year-old woman and ask her to invest in your idea. An MBA gives you many opportunities to build these networks and also interact with these future managers and executives. You get to meet industry experts, so you can share your ideas that you have with them and get to know from them whether those ideas work. You could also meet your business partners for the entrepreneurship idea that you have. And like RIT Hassan conducts workshops where you have these expert talks by people from the industry, and these people come in, you get to discuss with them, pick their brains, and grow in your own career and specialization. The mentors that you find in this course, it could be the professors from RIT, it could be the leaders that come for these talks. You could connect with them throughout your life, and these networks open up many opportunities for you, both in your professional and personal life. If you see this particular aspect here, you will see that this person, just give me 1 minute, this particular person here is on looking at a screen, and the screen has some data that is visible. Now, that data is the stock market. Many of us want to know how the stock market works, but we do not know how it works. And MBA also teaches you how that work, so that you could either invest in the stock markets or use the stock markets to understand how companies are working. Okay, so with that, you'll also, and you can party, you can also make money, you can understand how the companies work, and this is possible for you every single time. Look at this particular tool. Many of us have used Excel, but we do not know the real power that Microsoft Excel has. You get to know the real power of Excel by the many courses that happen in MBA. You could use it for a lot of different purposes. You could use it for equations, tables, marketing, HR, finance, everything uses Excel. And RIT Hassan conducts Excel workshops by noted experts in the industry. And using these Excel tools, you could use it to analyze and gain the advantage over others. You will be an Excel expert if you complete your MBA, and you do not know the power and the requirement of Excel. You might have seen some forwards which say MBAs need to know Excel, without which they will be using Surf Excel at home. So very, very, very important that people learn how to use Excel, and that you will get to know in MBA. It's not just about undergoing the Excel course. Every course or every assignment that is present in MBA will require you to use Excel, and that knife will keep getting sharp. You will keep using your skill and you will keep getting sharp. Many of us, if you see the top 10 fears of people across the world, the number two fear is death, which means that people are scared of dying, but it is the number two fear. So, what is the number one fear that people have across the world? The number one fear is public speaking. It means that people prefer dying than speaking. So, number one is public speaking, number two is death. It means if you give me two options, public speaking or death, people are going to choose death. So, hence, if that is such a skill that is going to cause people to be tense, if you are good at it, you will grow fast in your career. And how do you grow fast and become an expert communicator? MBA will ask you to present, represent, seminars, workshops, projects. You are going to pitch your idea to multiple people. You are going to be an expert communicator, and you will see, I've seen difference in a particular person before an MBA and after, and that happens in any good MBA program like RIT. People are going to transform themselves in the 2 years that they are in the MBA program. And becoming an expert communicator gives you a lot of confidence, and it also gives confidence to the audience on what you want them to do. A good speaker gives confidence, and we are going to judge people based on their communication skills, like it or not. An interview, the decision is made based on communication skills. A funding idea depends on it. You are even friendships and referrals in companies happen if your communication skills are good. MBA has this. Some of your graduate programs might not have had internships, and MBA will have internship opportunities for all of you who are interested. You will get to know, and this will be practice learning, and it will be what you've learned, you will implement. You are sent out as interns, and once you are sent out as interns, you also get to know how what you've learned in theory is applicable or not in the corporate world, whether it's working, whether it's not working. All of these you will get to know. What better idea than attempting it instead of going into that job, into that career? You will intern there for 2 or 3 months, or even for sometimes for 2 weeks. And there is a unique concept that RIT Hassan has introduced, which is called as paid projects. Paid projects doesn't mean you pay for the project. In paid projects, the company pays you for the projects that you do for the company. It could be in RIT Hassan, faculty members and students go and train corporates in Hassan and surrounding districts. And it could be consulting projects, and gives you an idea of how companies work, what are their problems, what problems are implementable. All of this you learn in internships. And in an MBA program, internship is also mandatory. In addition to this, you will be exposed to another company, another style, and you meet some potential employers, and you get to know whether a particular company is suitable for you and a particular industry is suitable for you. These are all the company logos. I'm not saying these are specific companies that recruit, but an MBA gives you access to top employers. some companies do not have opportunities for non-MBA graduates. They only have opportunities and vacancies for MBA graduates, people who are good in their MBA and they performed well. Only those people are even eligible to apply. And you get a lot of infinite possibilities, networks that are formed. Your seniors in your MBA program, your seniors of the college will help you get those opportunities, at least if not those jobs. And you also get to work in a diverse set of field. Most of you after graduation might be limited to your own specialization. A life sciences graduate might only be able to go and work in a pharma company, for example. But an MBA graduate can work in human resource, statistics, technology. Um, may I please request the organizers to be on mute? Okay. An MBA program including, okay, so human resource, statistics, technology, information systems, economics, and finance. So we will have opportunities to work in any of these fields, including the public sector as well. So that's the 14th thing. You get access to people. Doors are open which would have been locked, not just closed, which would have been locked for you. And those doors are secret doors that only an MBA graduate has the key to open. Number 15, if you see this, an MBA gives you opportunities to work and stay in top global cities. Your graduate program might get you employment in the cities that you're currently in, but an MBA might give you exposure and experience of working in cities across India and across the globe, even in your internships and in your final offers, which means your final placements. You could also settle there or get exposure and come back to India. It depends on your individual preferences, it depends on your career goals, but it is always good to know that there is an option that MBA degree provides you with. All of this is due to the MBA degree. Number 16 that I want to highlight is this: you get an MBA gets credibility and instant worldwide recognition. Everyone knows what an MBA is capable of. If I am dealing with another MBA graduate, I know his or her knowledge level, I know the capabilities that they come with. I also get to know that they are dedicated, they are hardworking, because an MBA program is not very easy to clear, but if you clear, the benefits are humongous. Also, I get to know that this person is well versed both theoretically and practically in finance or marketing or HR. So the person automatically has credibility. No one comes to that person and checks their knowledge, because once a person has an MBA degree, we know the knowledge that they have, and it is not just recognized in India. This 2-year degree program that is offered by VTU and RIT is affiliated to VTU is recognized across the globe. Then, if you look at this particular aspect, you see this person is looking at ideas, he's looking at marketing, he's looking at digital marketing, he's looking at sales, he's looking at cloud. What do you think this person is? This person is key requirement of our country, which is an entrepreneur. You see, our respected Prime Minister, Honorable Narendra Modi ji, talk about entrepreneurs being the backbone of the country, because they are going to create jobs. We can't forever depend on MNCs. We can't forever depend on public sectors to lead the employment generation, because we are a young country, and so we have a lot of youngsters coming into the pool. So what can these people do? These companies, Nike, Gap, Victoria's Secret, they've all started by MBAs. And if you want to launch your own degree venture, it could be venture in as a restaurant, it could be a venture in digital marketing, it could be a venture in e-learning, it could be a venture in e-commerce. And MBA gives you all the tools and the support to do. You know how it works. Otherwise, it's going to be someone starting off, burning their hands, losing money, and then trying to do something else. So it becomes a big problem. Starting your business after an MBA degree gives you the knowledge, it gives you the connections, it gives you the experience to be successful. Starting a business anyone can do. Once you start, what are the chances that you're successful? The chances are very, very, very high if you have started it after having an MBA degree, because you learn everything that is needed to run a business, including the soft skills aspects that students are trained at RIT. You get to know all the tools, you get to learn all the subjects that are there. Everything that you study in your MBA program is applicable for a corporate world, as well as applicable if you start off your business. If you look at this particular slide, which is the 18th point that I want to highlight, it is the support system. We are social animals. We can't think that, oh, I am great, I will succeed on my own, I don't need anyone's help. The smart businessman or even the smart corporate professional who grows gives support when others ask for, but also very smartly asks for support, asks for help when he or she needs it. And in the MBA program itself, you are going to get a lot of backing by your B school. The B school stands for a business school. Here it's the RIT MBA department, or any other good B school that you're looking at. You get support by them, and that support could be for your idea in terms of space that the college uses. For an entrepreneur that I'm talking about, it could be in terms of funds, it could be in terms of connections, it could be in terms of networking opportunities or investors. If you want that, if you are an entrepreneur and you want that, your RIT MBA or any other good B school program will give you that access. Even if you want to go and join a corporate, knowing all of this will give you that added boost to grow fast in your career. You see this particular image here, there's a stress balloon and there is a pin, and that pin, the hand of that person is an MBA graduate. Why? Because you say goodbye to stress. MBA has a lot of coursework. When we spoke of challenges, this is one. But you are now at least 21. You might be older than 21, but if you are a student who, and I know there are some parents watching as well, but if you're a student who's watching this, you are at least 21, and MBA will have a lot of coursework. Meaning it is manageable coursework. If you plan and work in a systematic manner, it is going to be a cakewalk. And if you have a lot of coursework, you are going to be under some sort of stress, because you have to, all of these benefits don't come easy. If it was easy, everyone would get all the other 25 benefits that I'm talking about. Because there is a lot of coursework, you know how to manage stress. And if you know how to manage stress, you can do very well in your corporate career. A person who is relaxed in their entire academic life suddenly goes to a corporate career and struggles because he or she does not know how to manage that stress, managing the stress of dealing with people, managing the stress of a company's financials, managing the stress of targets. They do not know. An MBA does. And once you go and work in a corporate career, the stress there is going to be much lesser than the stress of your MBA program itself. This is a stamp. This is a stamp that changes the life of a lot of people. And this stamp comes in your resume. An MBA graduate gets that as a stamp on the resume, and that resume automatically becomes very, very heavy. You are more than just Ramesh, Suresh, Mohammed, Peter, Suzanne, Kalpana. You are now all of these names with an MBA degree. The confidence that you get, the value your resume has, the places that you can apply multiplies, not just increases, it multiplies several number of times. And this is the reason, and this is a certificate that no one can take from you. It will be there for as long as you are in the corporate field. Your resume will have this MBA degree. Adapt to changes. Just the corona part, you show see how companies have adapted, how companies had to deal with change. Even the hand sanitizer manufacturers had to deal with change because suddenly they had to increase the production, distribute it everywhere. We now have hand sanitizers coming in sachets. We have hand sanitizers, foot-based hand sanitizers, automatic sanitizers. Even businesses that are doing well have to adapt to change. I don't have to tell you about businesses that are not doing well. They definitely adapt to change, otherwise they're going to shut down. MBA teaches you all of this during the course of companies that have done well, companies that have not done well. My parents used to tell me, don't commit all the mistakes in your life, learn from others. An MBA helps you learn from others who committed mistakes, and that helps you adapt to change very quickly. You also learn how to lead and manage in environment. It's going to be complex throughout our life and our business environment. How do you manage that? And once you adapt to change, you can do it because of this merger, this marriage of practical and theory. You are learning, most of your graduate programs would have a lot of theory. As an engineer, we know we learn a lot of theory, either which is outdated, or when you go to the corporate world, you do not know why you learned a particular subject. Without knowing the applications of it, or without doing work on the knowledge that you have, that knowledge is a waste. But an MBA combines academic knowledge with real life experience. So once you do that, you're not just a thinker, you're not just a doer, you are both. You think and do, and that is a quality that is very, very important. You are not just a restaurant owner, for example. Just let me take a restaurant owner. If a restaurant owner doesn't know how to cook, he will never know how to prepare dishes. Or if a cook doesn't know how to run a restaurant, billing, compliance, he will never be a successful. But if you have both, you know how to cook and you also know how to run a restaurant, that restaurant is going to be successful. Same thing in software. You don't know how to code, you can't probably successfully manage a software company. There are people who do, but if you know both the theory and the practical approach, you are going to be very, very successful. Like we said, the best of both worlds is what you will get. Also, CSR. Why is this relevant for MBAs? MBAs can make a social impact even, and it is taught at RIT for all the students. They visit government schools, they donate, they clean, they teach kids, they give back to the society. And that's a responsibility that people have, including this webinar is conducted for free by RIT Hassan under the leadership of all the dignitaries we mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. More than that, even if let's say I want to do something for the society, but I don't have the resources and expertise, what do? I don't have the money. How am I going to donate? An MBA gives you all of that, gives you the resources, contacts, the opportunities, and helps you be a responsible citizen. If you feel that, oh, an MBA fees is finances and is a hurdle, do not worry. RIT Hassan as well as leading banks and other institutions give you scholarships, and these scholarships are given only if you are pursuing your MBA degree, and they have attractive terms. Most of these scholarships do not require you to repay anything during the course of your MBA, and you can only start repaying after you graduate or after you get your first job and the first salary. Many nationalized banks are encouraged to give scholarships, and you will get it. If not, you could reach out to the college. They will have a tie-up with a bank that gives you the best rate of interest, and you do not have to worry. Do not let money come in the way of something that will change your life. Okay, so very, very important point. And last but not the least, I want to also talk about how you can keep calm and enjoy the student life. You can be a student again for people who are currently students or for people who have gone to the corporate world. And I talk from experience. This is probably the last time you experience the student life. And you will realize the value of it once you go back to be an MBA. As a student, you might think, oh, when will I finish my course? When will I start working? But once you start working, you'll always think, oh, why can't I go back and study, even if it is only for a month or a day? Because then there is no pressure, you will enjoy. An MBA gives you that opportunity, and probably the last opportunity for many of us to be a student again. And a beautiful campus gives you motivations to study. Like I said, visit RIT campus once during the day and once at night. You have hostels that are on campus, so you don't have to spend time commuting. You can also connect, it's connected to the city, you can always travel there, and it's connected to all the major cities across the country and definitely across Karnataka. It gives you a good chance to be a student again. And being in that city now, there is, see, I am not, I don't know where are you from. We have people across the country who are there. We have people from Punjab. Geographically, the location does not matter now. You could be in one city, you could get access to the best minds across the world. Same is the case with being in Hassan. You could be in Hassan, you could get access to expertise from across the country. You could get recruitment opportunities from across the country and the globe, and you could get friends and professors who are from across the country. Gives you a lot of cross-cultural learning as well. Meet the world in one class in one place, and I've seen that happen in RIT. Just the RIT campus is such an awesome campus. There's an amazing playground. As soon as you enter, you have it's a proper, what would I say, a university campus. It's on par with any university. The number of trees that are on campus, you have physiotherapy, you have nursing, you have polytechnic, you have engineering, and last but not the least, the crown, which is the MBA department. You have probably 4,000 students in the campus at any given point in time, and that vibrant atmosphere is something that if you only experience, you will understand. It's like eating a dish and explaining it to you. You will not be able to enjoy the dish unless you eat it. So, and you can experience this dish called RIT if you visit them when you can. The college is open for admission inquiries, for clarifications. Even if go there, even if you do not want to get admitted, go there and talk to them about some counseling requirements that you have. We will give you the phone numbers of two of the coordinators who are the backbone of this particular webinar and also of the department. We'll share it with them. You can also make a note towards the end of the presentation. About the, and like I said, the placement in RIT, we will talk about. There's someone who spoke about placement in RIT, feedback, link, specialization. We'll have someone respond to those chat options from the college. Now, salient features of RIT MBA, it is affiliated to VTU, recognized by ICT. You do not have to worry about it. It has all the required permissions needed to run an institution. It offers dual specialization, like we mentioned, in finance, marketing, and HR. You could pick any two of these. The advantage of dual specialization is you would get jobs in finance as well as marketing if you take dual specialization there. Live projects, meaning projects that the industry needs, which is a current problem that they have, and it is not a report that will sit in the library. It's a project that is needed by the college. Summer internship program is there. Placement in RIT is amazing. So someone is asking about placement in RIT. Placement in RIT is probably 90% of the students who are a part of the MBA program get placed. There are people outside of it who get placed in off-campus requirements. The only request being you need to ensure that you meet minimum percentage criteria of 60%. Doing that will give you opportunities across like we said, the corporates that we showed across the country and across specializations. You will get that. And many people, we know it is a reality. People join MBA for placements, and joining RIT for placements would be an absolute good decision, because all of these companies visit them. You can even visit the college website and see the companies that have visited last year, the number of recruitment offers they have made. All of this can be checked on the website. You have training and placement given by experts. So if you're trained well, you get placed in the best companies, including 7 Sense. There are a lot of experts who train at RIT. Smart classrooms are there using the latest technology. Like we said, the entry itself is with a vast playground. All of this gives you a super experience in RIT Hassan. A key feature that I want to highlight here is something known as Embark, which is the management club of RIT. It is an umbrella for all the other initiatives that are taken up by RIT. And the tagline is where innovation begins. Embark, where it has smartly has MBA in the name of the club. So these are some of the initiatives that happen as per under Embark. We have the Management Fest, which is called Pragyan, which is attended by more than 10,000 people. We have Conduct and Participate, where a lot of events happen and where demonstrations and sessions happen on your ideas. Our CSR activities, like we mentioned previously, we'll have some photos subsequently. It's called as Jagriti RIT. Digitalization and management for marketing and digital marketing is present. Swasti happens based on the student development activities, and Explore It are the newsletters which talk about everything that is happening in RIT. Entire what do you say, these individual umbrellas like Pragyan, Cape, Jagriti are run by students, led by students, with a free hand given by the management, with help in terms of guidance and funding. So if you are a part, you could also aim to do this. It will improve your resume, and you also get exposure in running this particular vertical. Like say, this was a talk by Swasti on career opportunities and insights for the students, and this are some snapshots of the Jagrati Go Green CSR activity at government school Satenhalli, activities for the students, the games, plantation. You see students as well as faculty members, and you see the respected HOD and faculty members also present. Industrial visits happen. The industrial visits have happened to multiple places, tea factories, parley companies, not just in Hassan but across the country. You see people have gone to Haryana. All of this sponsored and run by the department, and this gives you an example of how different companies run manufacturing, services, operations. All of this you get to know, and this gives you that exposure. Like we said, a marriage of practical and theoretical. You get to know that, learning about, let's say, how a biscuit company runs. Like you said, Parle-G is the world's biggest manufacturer of biscuits, and in the time that it took me to say this sentence, 500 Parle-G biscuits were opened, the wrappers were opened. That many number of biscuits are consumed of Parle-G in our country. Okay, so visiting them shows how it is managed. You also have MS Excel and big data, like we spoke about digitalization, Excel. We have experts who handle these workshops as part of the Digimark vertical under Embark, and all of these are live, all of these are hands-on, and all of these are one-on-one, where the faculty member spends time and attention with the student. We mentioned about paid projects and internships. Many colleges take money from the students to do and give them some reports and projects so that they meet the university requirements. In RIT, students are paid by the companies. So, like some of these companies that I know of, there are many more. These are companies that I know of where students have worked, because we mentor a few students in RIT, and at least my mentees have worked in Big Bazaar, Colgate Palmolive. Some of them have worked for short projects. I understand those are 2-week projects. Some of them have worked for 6-month projects. And in each project, we'll have a faculty member help the student, and they interact directly with a company professional. And because they are paying, they are going to ask for a lot of value add, and that is going to happen. Knowing this, you imagine your resume is going to look very strong, and you could work as much. See, it is like this, it's like a buffet. RIT MBA is like a buffet. You can eat as much as your hunger allows you to eat, or you could be on a diet. A diet would mean someone who doesn't eat, doesn't do anything. He will still be able to eat the salad and go out. But a real student should be someone who is hungry, who does all of this and learns, and the actual learning is by doing it. RIT. Some more photographs of RIT that I wanted to highlight. It could be visiting high-tech product plants. It could be cultural visits. There are some photographs of fests. There are some photographs of visit to landmarks. That is how the friendship and connection happens across batches, across classmates, and across the institutions. And that is what happens there. I also want to keep this slide for a couple of minutes so that people who have information can contact. 2 key people, like I said, the backbone of RIT in terms of conducting this webinar as well as other initiatives. Sri Darshan NM, who's present. Both of these gentlemen were present at the beginning when Principal Sir and HOD Madam spoke about. Those were the other 2 people on the audience. I want to thank them for organizing this webinar. Please make a note. I'll show this slide for some time. I request one of them to actually also post their numbers again in the group if it is needed. 814-711-1396 of Sri Darshan NM, 996-410-6076 of Mohammad Monish. If you are visiting the campus, please call them to ensure that you have faculty members who will be free to clarify your doubts, your counseling, and you are under no obligation. Even if you visit the campus, or if you're not able to visit the campus, call them. Yeah, if you have a question that you could not ask in the session, or you asked in the session, but because there are so many questions asked, your question was not answered, it was not possible. Now you could call them and ask. May also request people who are monitoring the session from the college to also share the feedback link for the participants so that it is tabulated in terms of feedback. I also have a short video to play. The volume might not be very high, but it's a video. If you see this video, the amazing voiceover, even I did not know. When I saw this video, I thought, oh, the voiceover is by a very professional artist. And at the end, it turns out the voice is of none other than our beloved Dr. Bhavani Madam. Let me just play the video. It's an intro video of RIT. We kept it at the end because I kept it at the beginning. And the college said, no, sir, participants have joined to know about MBA. Let us tell them that. And at the end, let us talk about us. So just that itself shows the mindset of the college is to benefit the student first and then talk about themselves. So let me just play the video for a minute. Give me a minute. Let me just play. Please keep the feedback link. Request one of the members to share the feedback link in the group. If the feedback link doesn't come, request you to please.
ಹಾಸನ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳರಿಂದ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಸನ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯು ಭಾರತಾಂಬೆಯ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಹಾಸನದ ಮೂಲ ಹೆಸರು ಸಿಂಹಾಸನಪುರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಹಾಸನವನ್ನು ಶಿಲ್ಪಕಲೆಯ ಬೀಡು ಎಂದೂ ಸಹ ಕರೆಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಸನ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೀಯ ಸ್ಥಳಗಳೆಂದರೆ ಹಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಹಾಸನಾಂಬೆ ದೇವಾಲಯ, ಹಳೇಬೀಡಿನ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳೇಶ್ವರ ದೇವಾಲಯ, ಬೇಲೂರಿನ ಚೆನ್ನಕೇಶವ ದೇವಾಲಯ, ಶ್ರವಣಬೆಳಗೊಳದ ಬಾಹುಬಲಿಯ 58 ಅಡಿಯ ಏಕಶಿಲಾ ವಿಗ್ರಹ, ರುದ್ರಪಟ್ಟಣದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ವೀಣಾ ದೇವಾಲಯ, ಹೇಮಾವತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಯಗಜಿ ಅಣೆಕಟ್ಟು, ಮುಂಜರಾಬಾದ್ ಕೋಟೆ, ಶೆಟ್ಟಿಹಳ್ಳಿ ಚರ್ಚ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರವಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ ಇಸ್ರೋ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ MCF ಮತ್ತು ಸಕಲೇಶಪುರದ ಬಿಸಿಲೇಘಾಟ್. ಹಾಸನದ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ವೈದ್ಯರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಾಜೀವ್ ರವರು ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಭಾಗದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಸಹ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಕೈಗೆಟುಕಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ಕನಸು ಕಂಡು ರಾಜೀವ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದರು. ರಾಜೀವ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ 2008ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿತವಾಯಿತು. 2009ರಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಹಾಗೂ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ MBA ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಗಿ 2019ಕ್ಕೆ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ತನ್ನ 10 ವರ್ಷಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ಣಗೊಳಿಸುತ್ತಿದೆ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟ ಎಂಬಾರ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ನ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಿಧ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು MBA ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ, ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಹಾಗೂ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಕುಶಲತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸಿಕೊಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಪಾತ್ರ ವಹಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಎಂಬಾರ್ಕ್ನ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜಾಗೃತಿ, ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಪ್ರವಾಸ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ್ ಎಂಬ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಉತ್ಸವ ಹೀಗೆ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತಿವೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳ ಪಕ್ಷಿನೋಟವನ್ನು ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದ ಮೂಲಕ ನಿಮಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಪಡಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
This was a short snippet on, I think, a couple of you mentioned, including Nisha, that they couldn't understand the language. But this was a video done for the fest there by the department. So I thought it's best to share instead of any other video. More than the language and the voiceover, just the images showed the diverse exposure experience that the students got. I would suggest, many of them are asking for the feedback link. I would suggest you please post the feedback in the chat, live chat option itself. That will be very, very beneficial for everyone to know what you've typed instead of putting it in any Google form. That will also be a record of how your play Dil Bechara movie. Yeah, fine. I understand a lot of us, and respect to Sushant sir about wonderful movie that has happened. But in this particular session, I want to talk about how RIT Hassan can probably change your life and why MBA is the option to take forward. So, for all the
Sir,
participants, may
sir,
I
please
also
read that
request
form now.
to
Post ಮಾಡಿ
also
immediate ಆಗಿ
look at
ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ
uh, may I also look at all of you, request all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, 7 Sense Aptitude Prep, for all career, higher education, and campus placement tips. You could just subscribe into the channel that is currently showing this particular webinar. Please do so. Thank you so much. I want to once again thank Sri Rajiv sir of our Rajiv Institute of Technology, Dr. Ramakrishna sir, the respected principal, and Bhavani madam, the respected HOD of MBA. Saying this, I want to hand over the session back to madam. 1 minute, just give me a minute.
Yes, sir. Sir, that was a wonderful session. I could see in the live chat few questions were asked, and also we got a wonderful feedback. Participants writing that it was a very informative session, valuable session, and they have extended a lot of regards regarding the information and your intellectual knowledge what you have shared with the participants, sir. And on behalf of Rajiv Institute of Technology MBA department, our principal Dr. N. Ramakrishna, and of course from our management, we are very grateful to you. At the same time, I would like to answer a few questions. We cannot take up all the questions, but 2 to 3 questions on a priority basis, I'm just answering. Mr. Kripesh just wanted to know, so the question is to you, sir. What is better after graduation, whether to go for work for 2 years and then do MBA, or do MBA and then go back to work? In my personal opinion, because of COVID, the pandemic, the thing is going on. So it's a good opportunity for you. I would suggest do take up MBA, and then definitely with the skills what you acquire, and you can make ready to the corporate. Graduation, whether to go for work.
Fuck you, Indian nigga.
Okay.
Hello.
So,
Yes,
personally,
sir.
madam, I think the option that you mentioned is very, very relevant since it's a
Fuck you,
pandemic time.
Indian bitch. Fuck you. Kill your.
Okay, there was a problem, and I think there was someone who joined the session, and there was a problem. So, not an issue. What I would want to highlight is that in the particular webinar, you will want all the tips that you have to come to you to be relevant. You please take up the MBA after your graduation, because this is very important time. We had someone who came in and used abusive language, and the call had to be disconnected. Someone who's joining from outside spoiled when we had to disconnect the call. Not a problem, and I will take up a couple more questions that are there here. Thank you for all the people who've joined. Very awesome, Kiran Kumar. I'm taking the feedback. The fees are as per. I'll just take a few more questions. Chelsea C talks about the fees. The fees comes as per the PGCET norms. That's the standard fees across the country, for across the state rather, for all the colleges, and so we follow that particular approach. Anything else in terms of webinar was very helpful, good session. Okay, if you like it, please click on the thumbs up in the YouTube video and then subscribe. That will help all of us. And any other questions that you have, you could also reach out to these 2 numbers which which had shown, Moni sir, and I think these are the 2 numbers that I showed. Please do reach out to them and talk to them. And any other session, you could always help, get help from people who are the experts, and that is RIT. So I once again thank you, all of you, for being a part of this session, and I'm very, very grateful once again to Rajiv sir, the chairman of the Rajiv Group of Institutions, Dr. Ramakrishna sir, who's the principal of RIT, and Dr. Bhavani madam, the HOD of MBA. Saying this, I would want to thank you all for attending the webinar, and I hope you found it useful. Please do comment on the feedback, and click on the thumbs up sign, and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, and all the best. Good day. Bye bye.